Every year, thousands of game art students graduate with polished portfolios, hopeful, motivated, and completely confused about why they can't get hired. They did what they were told. They learned the software. They finished their assignments. They built environments. But the industry isn't hiring them. Not because they aren't talented, because they were trained for school, not for production. Today we're going to talk about the gap, the one nobody explains clearly, and how to actually close it. Most school programs will tell you they're preparing you for a creative career. Studios are preparing to ship a game. That difference changes everything. In school, you're graded on how something looks. You work alone, deadlines are flexible, optimization barely matters, you can restart whenever you want. In production, you're judged on how fast you solve problems. You work inside a massive pipeline. You have to communicate professionally and efficiently. Deadlines are immovable. Performance is everything. There are no restarts, only fixes. Studios don't hire students. They hire junior developers who can survive production. The industry is waiting for students to become junior developers on their own. There is no training in any studios for that. You have to show that you have the right mindset for production. That's the gap. Most graduates are trained to make portfolio pieces. One hero environment. One perfect composition. Weeks of polish. But that's not what environment artists do in a studio. In a real job, you're not building a diorama. You're building 200 modular assets that snap together cleanly with consistent textile density inside memory budgets, and that can be reused across an entire level. School rewards uniqueness and assets that look cool. Production rewards consistency. This is where most students accidentally sabotage themselves. They present one beautiful environment, but hide their topology, their modular thinking, their optimization strategy, their reusability, their decision making. Studios aren't hiring you to make one environment. They're hiring you to build systems. If your portfolio doesn't show systems, they assume you don't understand them. Here are the real entry-level environment art skills studios expect that rarely get taught. Modular kit design, trim sheet workflows, reuse first thinking, scale consistency across assets, collision that actually works, clean pivots and grid alignment, naming conventions, version control awareness, building fast, not perfect, matching an existing art style. Notice something? None of that is glamour, but that is 80% of the job. A common frustration from graduates is, why won't studios train juniors anymore? Because modern development cycles are too expensive. It's like this catch-22 meme. Studios asking if you have experience for an entry-level job, junior saying if you offer me the job, I will get the experience. This industry doesn't work this way. Studios don't expect most juniors to have studio experience, just the right mindset. This can be shown on your portfolio. Teams don't need more artists. They need artists who remove workload, not add to it. If hiring you means explaining pipelines, fixing your assets, teaching optimization, rebuilding your work, you're not helping production yet. That's the harsh math behind hiring decisions. If you're learning from these videos but struggling to put everything together into a full environment, that's exactly why I built my full course. You'll build the entire scene step by step in real time, understanding composition, scale, materials, and lighting, so you can apply the same process to your own world. These environments were created by students using the same workflow you'll learn here. It's designed for artists who already know the basics and want to create portfolio-level work, not just isolated studies. This isn't about learning tools, it's about learning how professionals build environments. If that's where you're trying to get to, you can check it out in the description. The students who do get hired make one mental switch. They stop trying to impress. They start trying to function like developers. Instead of asking, how do I make this look amazing? They ask, how would this actually be built on a real project? That question leads to smaller scopes, smarter assets, cleaner construction, better documentation, faster workflows. And suddenly, their portfolio looks hireable. This is a change I operated on my own portfolio, and I saw immediate accrued success. I will make a video in the future to tell this story in more details. A strong junior environment portfolio usually contains a modular environment kit with clear breakdowns. You show reuse, modularity, good organizational practices, naming conventions, pivots, etc. A trim sheet example, efficient material usage, multiple assets from one texture. Technical breakdowns, wireframes, texture strategies, techniques such as RGB masks, mid-poly approach, weighted normals, normal edge decals, mesh decals, etc. Performance awareness, something small but finished, not a giant world, a tight production style space, a small structure, broken wall, trim sheet applied on modular assets. Studios don't need to see your ambition, they need to see your execution. This gap isn't a talent gap, it's an information gap. Most students aren't failing because they're bad. They're failing because no one explained the rules of the job. Once you understand that environment art is closer to designing a construction system than making a painting, your learning path becomes much clearer and much faster. Studios aren't looking for the exceptionally gifted graduate. They're looking for the one who already works like part of a team. You have to show them you're no longer just a student. You're a junior environment artist they can trust. Build for production, not for approval. Stay tuned on the channel. Many topics relevant to breaking in a game industry will be covered. Let me know in the comments, what would you like to know? Real production habits, how to answer tricky interview questions, what other techniques might be good to show on your portfolio. I'll be happy to make a video on topics that might help many aspiring artists. Speaking of which, I'm giving away a portfolio checklist that gives many tips and directions on what to include on your portfolio, what not to forget, and basically what matters to hiring teams. So it's completely free. Check it out. The link is in the description. Shout out to the members of the channel, and you are all welcome to join. Additional perks will be added very soon.